Hello and welcome back to the Framed podcast. We are back now for episode 5, and it's a huge episode this week because we are here to talk about Superman. My name is Ben, this is Charlie, and we've got a lot to cover this week, which Charlie can go through now.
Yeah, so this week we're going to be running through everything that we usually do. We're going to play some fun movie games this week in the form of Would You Rather and some hot takes. Then, of course, we're going to jump into James Gunn's Superman, break it all down, give our thoughts, give our opinions on the movie overall, and also maybe have a little discussion about how we're feeling about the new DCU and where things are going in the future. And then the last thing, of course, as we do every week, we're going to break down this week's news, all the latest confirmed news, and we'll also discuss some fun rumours that have come out this week as well.
Perfect. Cool. So yeah, as we said, we're going to break it up with some games first of all. If you've never listened to us before, hopefully it will give you a bit of information about what we like. Charlie, do you want to start? Or do you want me to go first? Should we do one each, back and forth?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth. Yeah,
sure.
like
okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you start. So we're going to play Would You Rather this week. We have not seen these questions, so it's going to be very interesting to see how we respond to these.
Okay. Okay, so my first one, very on topic.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and simple to kick us off. David Corenswet or Henry Cavill?
Oh, that's a horrible start. Okay. I'm gonna say David Corenswet because it's relevant to the now. I'm still in my happiness phase from Superman that we've just seen. So right now he's winning in my head. He still has a lot to grow, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. I don't know if that's the right answer, but that's my
go for the same.
Okay, thank God. Okay. My next one's so much more brutal than that, like straight away. So this gives you time to think. You can see what you want. So, would you rather that Robert Downey Jr. never played Iron Man? So it could be someone else, we don't know.
Okay.
Or we never get the Batman Part 2.
Ooh.
There's a lot to think of there, because you still get the Batman Part 1, you've still got what we've already got. But
I think I'd honestly go for never having the Batman Part 2.
That's fair. Okay.
Only because one of my biggest fears of the Batman Part 2 is that it isn't going to be as great as Batman Part One.
Mhm.
So if I never get it, all I'm left with is an amazing Batman movie and an Infinity Saga, which is equally great.
Yeah. Okay, that's kind of fair.
Because please be good, please be good.
Yeah. The thing that I was thinking is, like, it could have been someone else playing Iron Man, but the reason we love it so much is because it's Robert Downey Jr. So he would just be like a mid character if you picked the Batman Part 2. But okay. All right. No, I respect it.
I go no Batman Part 2 on that one.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. This is an interesting one.
Mhm.
Would you rather watch theatrical cuts
Okay.
or only director's cuts for the rest of your life? Even if they're like 5+ hours long.
I'm going to go with theatrical cuts, mainly because a lot of the director's cuts are never as good as you want them to be. Let's while we're on topic of Superman, let's talk like Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah.
For Justice League. That was so unnecessarily long. And just has additional scenes in it that he loves, but really don't add to the character like he thought it did.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, you know, I'm a big fan of long films. Like we just talked about, the Batman is like nearly 3 hours or whatever, and I'm okay with that. But I understand, like, there is them moments where you just would love to just chuck a film on. Imagine just you can't sit down and just chuck one on for the evening knowing it's going to be 5 hours. It just doesn't work. So I think I'm going to go theatrical. There's a reason it was made theatrical. Do you know what I mean?
Did you see the whole like meme thing about Superman that they took out the scene of Ultraman punching Krypto?
Yes, because
And
it
it was
didn't get
like
like
hashtag release the puppy puncher cut was trending on Twitter for like a week.
I saw it was because like early screenings like gasped it, like they was a bit too dark or something.
Yeah.
Which
totally different.
100%. After seeing the film, it's not that. Do you know what I mean? You already get like Krypto whining in the background, but we'll get to that. But yeah, bit brutal. Okay, so this is a weird one, a very strange one, so I apologize. Would you rather watch every film only once, you're never allowed to watch them again, or you're allowed to watch every film unlimited times, but you only can watch them halfway through.
Oh, it's gonna have to be only once.
Really? Okay, no, I was not going to go for that.
Yeah, if I put a film on, I have to finish it.
Okay. But the
I
way I
can't
thought about it is
halfway
if you
through.
only ever knew half, you'd never know the rest. So that is the film.
So I wouldn't know that there's more. Is that part
Let's
of it?
say no. Let's say no, but it ends like so abruptly.
Hmm.
Always wondering if there was more. Like there should have been
This
because
one,
it
the
just
sequels
really.
are a bit interesting because I'd be watching like the first half, I wouldn't know what happens, and then the sequel
Mhm.
would pick up on an ending that I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly. But you could watch that half as many times as you want.
that's really because some films have great opening scenes.
Yeah, it's true. No one. I actually didn't say which half either. You could do the other half. It could just be half.
Ooh. Do you know what? I'll go for the halves.
Okay, that's
If
fair.
it can just be kind of any random half, there's a chance that I get some really cool scenes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
If I
true.
could just watch the second half of Endgame, that movie's a 5 star.
Mm. But the first
First
half.
half of that is a drag. If I get
Yeah,
the other half of Endgame, it's probably one of the worst MCU movies.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I thought that one was going to be tricky. I was sitting there
That's a
last night,
really
like
fun
thinking,
one.
yeah, because you just know it's gonna like you can't win either way.
I've got a
So
silly one now.
okay, go for it.
So three option one.
Hmm.
Would you rather spend a day with Groot, Crypto, or Eagly?
Oh, it's between personally for me, it's between Groot and Crypto. Um, I feel that both of them, unfortunately, though, are very like naughty, if that makes sense. Like, as in, it's going to be a pain to be with them. Um, Groot's is he big Groot? Is he baby Groot?
You can pick the Groot that you spend the day with.
Oh, okay. I think no, it doesn't. I don't think it matters. I think I'm still picking Crypto. I think it's just even if he's not super in the moment I'm with him, you're still with a dog for the day. That's great.
Yeah,
Um, whereas like it would be my luck that I'd end up with like teenage Groot. Do you know what I mean? The one that's just grumpy all the time. I'm gonna pick Crypto.
yeah. When I
I
wrote that
think
one out, I was initially going to do Groot, Crypto, and Rocket, and then I was like, Rocket's a bit kind of just like being with a person.
I'd
So I
love to
went
be
for
with Rocket.
Eagly.
I would have picked that 100%. I love yeah, Rocket's one of my favorites.
That's why I threw Eagly in there. It's just another like
Yeah,
chaos.
that's true. That wasn't even a question of my doubt that it wasn't going to be Eagly. I went to everyone else. But it is what it is. Right. So the last one from myself, and this one's going to make you think. So, would you rather get rid of the favorite film in your like favorite series, so whatever your most favorite one is, or get rid of all the other ones? So let's say you liked Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. So you can Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, but you never ever get to watch Fellowship or Return, or the other way around. You never get your favorite one, but you get all of the rest of the series.
Hmm, that's a good one because things like the MCU.
Yep.
If I took out my favorite one, there's still a whole lot of good ones.
Yeah. See that works.
But in the form of something like Top Gun, where you've only got two,
Mm-hmm.
you take out my favorite from that,
Then it's not worth it.
it's not worth it. That's really tricky.
Yeah, because the way I think about it is, if you just were left with the one you love, that's it. It's one film, and you just really appreciate everything about it. You don't need any more. But the other ones, you'll be like, yeah, it was cool, but it was never there. But you
And
get more
also,
of it.
I could make Star Wars perfect again and just keep the original.
Okay, yeah, all right.
This is tough. I'm gonna go for though. Remove the favorite and keep the rest.
That's completely fair enough answer. I think you still
I
get your
think
content. You still get what you want.
you still get everything else.
Hmm.
Obviously, you don't get those peak moments that you were gonna want, but
Yeah,
I think you can look past it if you get the rest of the franchise.
yeah. I don't know because it'd be interesting as well. Is like, do you know that the one that your favorite one exists? Because if you
Yeah,
do, and you're just never allowed to watch it. or that you never knew. Either way, I still think it's, I don't know.
If I knew, I think that'd be painful.
Yeah, that would be harsh, especially like if it was two towers, the one in the middle.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know if that's something I've ever said on an episode yet. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
That's crazy to me. That is, how have you not seen Lord of the Rings? How are we doing this and you haven't seen Lord of the Rings? Again, if you like long films, that's your next watch. That is your next watch.
They're literally. I've just got all three. They're right there behind me. I'm
There's
gonna
no excuse at all.
start to watch them. All the extended editions as well.
Yeah, the extended editions are great. You'll enjoy them. You've got to watch them by yourself and like absorb it, and then you'll enjoy it properly.
I'll
Cool.
get right
Is there
to
any more? Have you got last one for me, or is that it?
it. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
I'll throw one more bonus one into the mix.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Would you rather we had James Gunn step in? He took the DCU as it was,
Mm-hmm.
decanonized a few things, restructured it from where it was. So, say he announced like a Man of Steel 2,
Right. I see.
Avengers,
Yeah. Yeah.
Batman, so it continued it on as if it was the MCU, or what we're getting of a brand new DCU, completely new beginning. But he makes the old one in a way that
You still
it
like it.
becomes as successful as like the MCU, so. But it's with
Okay.
those characters.
Um, I'm going to pick the option that we've currently got now, as in James Gunn is starting again. I think because although like Batman's my favorite character, like he's technically already existed. Even though I was given all of them films, I was given Justice League, I've got Aquaman, all that. I still was never really a fan of them. So even if he then made that series like good, like positive, I still didn't really enjoy the previous ones. Whereas in the other option, I have the opportunity of something brand new.
Yeah.
Um, some of the castings as well, I think in the previous, like Jason Momoa was cool as Aquaman, but he's actually nothing like what Aquaman's meant to look like. Do you know, little things like that. So I'm really interested in a rebirth of that. Um, yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm open to what he's doing now. Let's just start fresh and
Yeah, no.
hope it's
Mm-hmm.
comic accurate. I'll go with that.
Yeah, no, I think I'm exactly the same, and I do like that. While we've cut off a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's only one thing so far, but like he is keeping Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
So
that's weird to me. That's
yeah,
very strange.
but I
But
guess they're also keeping the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker
yeah,
because he's literally
well, yeah.
can't see it just
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah.
Again, it's a wait and see kind of thing
Mm,
before I can judge it properly. But I don't know.
yeah,
Cool. Would you like? Is it news next? Do we do news,
yeah. Should we
or
jump
do we
into
do
news?
Superman? Let's do news. Okay. So,
No Superman
uh,
for the
yeah, cool. So, news this week was a little bit quiet. There are some interesting things in there, but it's still a pretty quiet week, but better than last week. So, the first thing I've got in here is that, funnily enough, topic themed of Superman. DC's goal is to re-establish all its iconic characters and unite them in a new Justice League movie. The output aim for the year is 2 live-action films, multiple TV shows, and an animated show.
That single piece of news took me from high to low instantly.
Really? So, what bit did you like about that? The live-action film bit?
I like that they're re-establishing their Trinity
Okay.
and the heroes surrounding them and bringing them together in a Justice League movie because that is what the old one failed to do.
Yeah.
We went Man of Steel. We essentially went Iron Man, Civil War, Infinity War as the first 3 films.
Right. I see what you're saying. Like they're so
Yeah,
far apart. Yeah.
and then we didn't have any establishing projects. Nothing. Obviously, Gunn's now said that Wonder Woman and Batman are his next priorities.
Mm-hmm.
So that's then the Trinity brought in. We've got Lanterns that he's working on. I'm sure we're probably going to get a Flash and Aquaman project announced soon.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're too far off of that. So that bit I really like. It's their output, their planned output that I don't like.
So
With
what? So 2 live actions, multiple TV shows, 1 animated show.
yeah,
What do you not like about that?
that to me is what the MCU was releasing in like 2021 when they crumbled under the weight of everything.
I think I agree with that. I think I like everything about that except the multiple TV shows bit. 2 live action films a year, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Maybe my only fear is it too many at a time? Because when you take us back to, we're using Marvel as an example, 'cause it's the only real other competition you can refer it to. But when you take Marvel back to Infinity War or whatever, it was roughly one a year. And that was long enough for you to
yeah,
get the hype up, enjoy it just before you're lost interest, if that makes sense. 2 a year is questionable. You don't want to rush it. The multiple TV shows is the bit I don't like because I don't want it to end up like where we are now in Marvel when it's just you
yeah.
need to have watched this to get to this and all that crap.
Because at least
Um,
with the films, they've got the number of two. Multiple can
yeah.
be five, six.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah. And the one animated show, I like that because like
Yeah, no, that's
depending on if it's like canon related. So you know, like how we had what's it called? Marvel did the what was it called?
oh, what if?
What If? Yeah, like that was cool because it's like over here, if that makes sense, and like
Hmm.
I still get to enjoy my characters. It didn't pull into the story. I probably would like that. Maybe like taking us back to like Batman the animated show or stuff like that. The only thing is, would it become confusing having things that aren't tied in? Um,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's too many things. Just one film a year and just leave it at that, and I would have been okay with it.
yeah, because obviously MCU kicked off. I think they kind of ramped it up per phase
Yeah.
because we had one film a year for phase one, 2 film a year for phase two, then we had 3 films a year for phase three.
Hmm.
They attempted to do 4 a year in phase four, wasn't working.
Yeah. No.
Now we're back down to what I believe is 3 films and 2 shows.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. And even that's at a push sometimes now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think
last year
that's
was Deadpool, Agatha, and Echo. That's all we got.
yeah. Damn, you're right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's not a good 3. That's
No,
not a good 3.
no.
Um, okay, so yeah, like I think overall, yeah, I'm happy with the fact that they're re-establishing the characters and making their entire Justice League. I think maybe just I'm not 100% happy with the output or like how much output. Okay, a little bit change of topic, but still an interesting one. There's not much to talk about it, not much to talk about with it, but it's still interesting. Matt Shackman has teased that the IMAX aspect ratio in the Fantastic Four will expand to 143 whenever Galactus appears on screen.
I think that's cool.
I think that's cool. There's not much to say about it. I think it's one of
What a
them in the
different.
moment. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
I
So
remember
into
the
Infinity
first of yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah. The first ever time I ever saw that happen, like from memory, was the Hunger Games. Um, when she's brought out onto the podium, the whole aspect ratio changes, and like I remember looking at it and being like, "Whoa, that was really cool." But like, if you're not looking for it, you don't notice it. But it also does say in the IMAX aspect ratio, so I feel like
Mm.
that'll only really be like quite daunting if you're watching it in IMAX.
Like a fraction of audiences. It's not really everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But still cool. I'm open to it. It kind of gives that power like to
Yeah.
him a bit more. Makes you realise the grand scale of him. I'm hoping maybe it'll be like the shot will open and maybe you only see like legs to like waist and then it has to expand further, almost like they're looking up because he's genuinely that big. That would
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Um,
Well, I also think as well it shows that like Matt Shackman has actually put some effort in with this movie. Because
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
fair.
it's like stuff like this you never hear about with the MCU. You
True.
don't really go into like aspect ratio changes. You don't really talk about IMAX film cameras.
That's very true. We've never gone, wow, the cinematography was brilliant. Like that's
You don't
like you don't
really
talk about
talk
any.
about like not many MCU trailers end with filmed in Panavision.
True. Hmm.
It's well, or the Fantastivision as they've called it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, but it's I like especially in a year where something like Sinners has
yeah.
come out and has been praised so much for that. It's cool to see that translating into the MCU, even before Sinners. So it's something they were starting to work with.
Mm.
With the success of Sinners, it's something they can hopefully look at doing more.
Yeah, I love it. It makes that cinema experience a little bit more exciting. So
Especially
yeah.
in the MCU that is so expansive. Like you've got so much stuff that's on Earth.
Mhm.
When you go to places like space, they should stretch out and expand.
Yeah, like I
Not
know this is
everything
a
next week.
really poor example, but like, did you ever watch Oz the Great and Powerful with James Franco in it?
Yes.
When he's still back in Kansas, it's like black and white and like square, and then when he goes to
Yeah.
Oz for the first time, it colors and it opens. Really cool, like really cool. kind of, well, WandaVision kind of did it,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I'm excited. I don't know what, like, it's one of them things that you can't really talk about until you've seen it, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Okay, last thing I've got from the news is that we have the trailer for Wednesday season 2. Part 1 will release on August 6th on Netflix.
I can't really say anything on that.
Okay. Did you
I
watch the first season?
haven't seen season one,
Okay.
the trailer, and I haven't heard good things about season one.
Okay. Fine. I'll talk on it then. I don't care, is the honest truth. Yeah, I don't. I watched Wednesday season 1. I enjoyed it while I was watching it. But it did, and I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times, it felt so Netflixy. Like, you know when you're watching a Netflix thing, because
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. It's like they kind of brand it with the family friendly aspect over everything because they know it's going to go to generic audiences. The episodes feel like the ending, the beginning, the middle, and the ending is like literally only 15 minutes each. Like, you can feel it. Like, as soon as it starts, it's on its way down. That's just how you know when it's Netflix. The colors as well. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that, but like, I always can tell a Netflix production by the way the colors look. I don't know why, but yeah, Wednesday was it
that's
was
when you're watching one.
pretty much. But yeah, Wednesday was like it was there. I'm not going to say it was entertaining
Yeah,
while I was watching. It was okay. Like, I was getting through it. And like the first one is the whole mystery about who is like the monster. That's kind of the point. But I think the reason maybe season 2 has dropped off is, one, it's taken quite a few years now, and
it's been 3 years. Was it
something
22?
like that. Yeah, and like I've seen a lot of talk about. Obviously, this is Wednesday, and like the family of the Adams family, and funnily enough, they're kids. And like it's taken so long now that they
Yeah,
aren't kids at all. Like General Ortega is not a child.
yeah,
And I can't for the living, I can't think what her brother's called. But he, in the season 1, was like a foot shorter than her. He's now like up here, just because it's
yeah.
taken so. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that believable anymore. On top of that, they had some very questionable like things going on with one of the actors in that series that he had to be removed and stuff because it was very inappropriate and things. So I think all of that tied into now
Just a
Wednesday
lot
season
of
2. That's not a
cosmetic.
great start. Yeah. Um, I'll watch it. I'll see it. I'm not excited for it. I think it's as simple as that. There is actually one more thing. I'm so sorry that I forgot to mention, and this is more of your take because I haven't seen much about it. Is the
Yeah,
Pirates of the Caribbean rumors?
yeah.
What have you seen? Tell me, because I don't know.
So it seems like Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley, and Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp
Hmm.
have all
Yeah.
signed back on for the sixth one, coming
Six,
from
six. Okay.
a very reliable Disney source.
Okay.
And a lot of MCU leaks over the Multiverse Saga that have come
Hmm.
true, and he's now saying that they've all signed back on. Orlando and Keira Knightley as main characters, and Johnny Depp as a supporting character now.
I really don't have an opinion. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know how to
they
feel. It just
no.
excites me because it's what I liked about the fifth one was
Hmm.
seeing them all come back, and I thought it was setting up a sixth one.
Yeah. I think they're them sort of films. We had this conversation about Michael Bay the other week. When do you let it rest? Because the longer you make films go on for, the worse they get. And Pirates was doing that. I
Yeah,
can barely remember the last one. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just, I don't know what was going on. It's a little bit interesting that they're making Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom the lead. I guess that kind of now develops into their story. But do I need it? I don't know.
yeah, that's
But
fair.
I do love the Pirates of the Caribbean films. They're cool to like witness in a cinema scale. It's pirates, for God's sake. Like, you can't not
Yeah,
love pirates.
and we haven't had a not as in the franchise, but we haven't had a pirate film in forever.
Yeah, I love pirates. Why is that not a more common thing?
Yeah,
But yeah, kind of cool, I
I'm
guess.
surprised
Like, I'm
we
never
haven't
going to say
had
no.
a theme song by now. In this age of like video game movies, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised
yeah.
if something like that.
What did you say? Did you say Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Is that what you said?
No, I think Sea
Oh,
of
sorry.
Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah,
To be fair,
it's
either
like
of
such.
them.
Yeah, but yeah, I think both of those would be very good video game adaptations to do as films.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. I love Sea of Thieves, but it's not. There's not much of a story there. What you enjoy playing it is the free roaming, whereas Assassin's Creed has a story.
Hmm.
But well, we all saw what happened with the other Assassin's Creed film that they did. Um, I don't really think there's much more to talk about on that. But
No.
we can move into what is the key part of this whole episode, which is James Gunn's Superman. Oh yes, beautiful. Should we do a countdown of what we'd rate out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, let me think about what I'm gonna give it. Okay, fine. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. What do we rate James Gunn's Superman out of 10? I'll count you down from 3, 2, 1,
7.
7. Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Why do you give it a 7?
I think it's a solid kickoff to the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
I think the standout thing of the movie for me is actually the casting.
Cool.
I
Yep.
think the
Okay.
cast is brilliant. I think they've all one thing Gunn always does well is get a good cast together, a great ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Cinematography wise, yikes! That's what let me down a lot for this movie was cinematography and also the pacing,
Fine.
especially in the middle zone of the film. But it's a hopeful Superman film. It's a hopeful movie.
Mm.
Um, it really, really and truly understands the character of Superman, and it's quite restorative for the DCU, the DC brand, in that there is hope that they can make good things. Um, I think there was not a fear from maybe the general audience, but from film fans that DC was kind of doomed a couple of years ago. They couldn't make a good movie. They were stuck in this rut of making things such as Black Adam. Um, but they can make good films if they pick the right leadership, which I think they now have with James Gunn and Peter Safran. Um, yeah, it was a solid start, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I'd pretty much agree with everything you said there. I think I walked into this with really like just open mind, because I think you're right. Everyone's walking into it with a bad premise behind them of what was, and you just hope that I didn't want to walk out there going that was the best thing I've ever seen. I just needed it to be pointing in the right direction, and I think that's exactly how I saw this film. I've spoken this before in my own personal reviews. I think that it's not an outstanding movie. It's not a 10 out of 10. Funny enough, it was just a great movie, not a brilliant movie, and that's all it needed to be. I think if he took any really like real risks or made like a really obscure storyline as your first one, that could backfire so easily and it could have completely thrown off that first step. But instead, he's made it a really comfortable, smooth, normal film just to get you involved. Do you know what I mean? Just so you understand the characters, you learn who they are, ready for what is to come. And in them future developments, now we're a bit hooked, you can take them risks. Um,
Yeah,
And I think, like the way I described it the other day, which is a weird way of putting it, is I feel it's on par with the current Marvel films. And like, we've been saying the current ones aren't all that, but like we still watch them and we still walk out and go, I had a good time. And that's all it needed to be. It's just such a complete smooth transaction of like superhero genre. We're there rather than it being like stupid high or stupid low. We're just
yeah,
he's now just like comfortably ingrained into what it already is our existence, like without
yeah.
it making too much of an impact. I
I'd
think
say like this and something like Brave New World are kind of on the same level for me.
yeah. Like I kind of enjoy it while you're in there. You walk away and you kind of go, oh, okay.
There
And
was
that's all
good
it
stuff
needed
in
to
there.
be. It's a great start for something that we haven't seen in a while. I think.
Yeah,
Touching on your point again, I think the acting was like incredible from very specific people. So I think for me, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor
clear standout.
was the standout. He was the winner of that film. Again, this is something I've spoken about before, but I think the thing I liked about it is he really shows off that he's not evil. He's envious, and this is a point that he makes within the film as well.
Yeah,
And how it's almost though he's jealous. He'll never admit that, but he's obsessed, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, this is now spoiler free by the time we release this episode, so that we can talk about these things. But he there's a part at the beginning where he has memorized all 2,500, I think it is, moveset for Ultraman to fight Superman because he's just that obsessed. He's that into it that
yeah,
he's fully developed his character. Um, Watching his like crash out moments were really strong acting. And I think this is going to sound so weird. Not having any hair puts all of the detail and emotion into his face, and
Yeah,
he's acted with his face amazingly. For you to purely see that envy, I think. Sorry, I'm rambling now, but I'm on one. I think David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan had a brilliant combo in relationship. It felt like an actual relationship, and I was glad to see that it's all just not love and saving you from a falling building, if that makes sense. You saw the reality of a relationship. And although, Superman is the most like all power meta human, he still stood on guard of Lois Lane. She's a brilliant journalist that still held her ground. There's if you remember, there's the like podcast scene where she's filming the interview with him,
yeah,
and she's dominating that interview. She is questioning everything that Superman does. Is this morally right for the world? Did you talk to this person about this? Like, she didn't make that. Sorry, James Gunn did not make Lois Lane into the like the princess that needs saving, if that makes sense. Instead,
yeah,
she holds her own, which I think was brilliant. I agree with you on the cinematography scale. It's a James Gunn thing, I think, and I think that might be something we have to get over.
yeah.
Uh,
My issue with the cinematography is it's the cinematographer of the Flash.
mm,
The Flash
yep,
came out, it got slammed online.
yeah,
James Gunn came out and said it's like the greatest superhero film that's ever been made, which is
mm.
not. So he obviously had a very good relationship with them, which
Yeah.
obviously brought them in for this. Um,
He did better than the Flash. I'll say that first.
Better than the Flash, yeah.
Yeah,
But I think if you see the discourse online about the way the Flash looks, I wouldn't bring that person in to create the movie that's kicking off my universe.
true. Yeah. I think you have to check socials, right? You have to see that like if someone's already got a bad rep, that's not a great start, especially for taking a risk on a first film.
And like, it's probably not the kind of thing he'd do. But
Hmm.
obviously, there's someone like Greg Fraser who already works for DC
Yeah.
with doing Batman, and obviously, I know he's been doing Dune and stuff, so he's probably a very, very busy person.
Hmm.
But when they have names like that within the DC brand, and then you're opting out of all the cinematographers to go for the person that's doing the Flash, there's got to be a better option for
Yeah,
cinematography.
I agree. I think the cinematography was one of my weaker points, but it wasn't awful. He's
No,
definitely improved since the Flash. Um, because like the other things that we talked about with the Flash is not just it was the cinematography, but it was within that as well. It was the CGI and stuff that was awful. This held up on that regard. Thank God. But like you get the classic like James Gunn, the close face shots and the scene where he punches in the face, the teeth fall out, bounce off the lens, and like you're gonna get that. And some of them are okay, some of them are unneeded. There was a personal favorite for me is there's a building that's collapsing on top of a woman on the bridge, and he stops the building, lets the woman drive away, and then the rubble and the smoke starts to like fill, and it's just him hovering above. That was cool. Like that
yeah,
looked nice. But then there are other shots that are like almost comedically like, I don't
I
need it.
thought the whole kaiju thing did not do it for me, CGI wise.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's the character wasn't meant
Also,
to look real, was it? It was almost like a cartoon made real life.
yeah, I hated that whole 5 minute sequence. That's probably the scene I hated the most.
Interesting.
It seemed weird to me that they just dumped this little creature. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're,
You dump
it's fine.
this little creature in Metropolis, and
Hmm.
then the next line is he'll grow, and the next scene is he's
Mm.
grown.
Yeah, it was meant to be a distraction, right? That was the point. Is
Yeah.
that I don't know. I think I agree with you. It was a bit weird, but I think it was also the for new viewers of Superman, it was the first time in that film that they show off his powers. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
you get the idea of he can do laser vision, he can do like the breath, he can do his strength, and like although he doesn't show it, by that point you know he can do it. And for new viewers, that's probably why they did that. Um,
Hmm.
I don't think it was awful, but it didn't change much for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
One thing I
yeah.
will say, actually, just a completely different point. The first 5 minutes I thought was really good.
Ah, yes, where
The
it's
like the 3 centuries ago, and then it's like
mhm,
3 decades, 3 years.
weeks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
minutes. I thought that was really cool, and then also just like the crypto stuff, and then the Fortress of Solitude, which looks incredible.
Yeah,
Uh,
agree with that.
the shot of that coming out the ground in the first like 3 minutes is the single best looking shot in the whole movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I like how we've not gone for an origin story here. So like
Yes.
the opening scene is him getting the shit kicked out of him. Like it's cool and it's really cool and like we can talk about it now and we mentioned it last week, but I I at the Superman premiere, I went to the Superman premiere in London a few weeks ago and they showed us half an hour of footage. And the half an hour that they showed us, I believed was 10-minute clips from the film in just different parts. But it actually wasn't. Now I realise it was the opening half an hour. Um,
Oh,
but when you didn't get any more, it did seem like 10-minute clips of random because it was the Fortress of Solitude, them doing their interview in the room, and Lex Luthor talking and pacing back and forth with Ultraman. That's what we got. And when you see them, it's weird because when at the premiere, between each scene, they put the big Superman logo on the screen and then they started the clip again, like they were cutting it. But actually, it was that. The only part they missed out in the premiere that wasn't there and was in the actual complete film was between all of them bits. There was a bit where Lex Luthor talks to the US government and he's dropping his idea for Planet Safe or whatever it's called. That bit was they cut that bit out in the premiere.
right. Okay.
But yeah, weird, but kind of interesting.
What's
Um,
your thought on the fact that we didn't really get much Clark Kent?
I'd like to see more of him a lot. I
Yeah.
think the Daily Planet scenes were some of the strongest scenes in it. I really loved the way it looked. Um, the only thing I'd maybe tone down is like they really kept the comedy aspect up every time they were in the Daily Planet. Jimmy
Yeah.
Olsen's like girls all over him. It's funny, but like that was his whole character. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd like to have seen the Daily Planet a bit more, but maybe a bit more of him being like told off and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Do you know what I mean? Um,
hmm I like
yeah,
Jimmy Olsen a lot in this, though. I thought it was.
I did. I didn't expect him to play such a large role.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah. What else did I like about this film? I liked. Oh no, you know what? Let's talk about the other characters in this film, right? So you've got your Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl.
The Justice.
I'm a little bit like under impressed with them. I think Mr. Terrific was really good actually. He was the strongest of the three. I didn't expect him to get that much screen time and or like be as important to the story as he was. Like wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that at all. I think Guy Gardner, they've again, they've done the comedy thing for him now. I would like to see a little bit more seriousness from Lansons. I appreciate that's his character, but like every time he fights, it was with like a dog leash and then like middle fingers and stuff. Like that's the James Gunn comedy bit, but I would love a little bit of a serious bit. Do you know what I mean? To see the Lansons and then Hawk Girl, I feel screamed more than she had words.
Yeah.
I didn't really get anything. I can't even judge on her because we didn't see her.
Yeah, I didn't really get a lot from any of them,
That's what I mean.
bar, bar Mr. Terrific. And I'll lump Metamorpho in there as well,
Sure.
because he joins them at the end.
Yeah.
I get it's probably going to go down as like a working title, but the Justice Gang name is awful.
Agreed.
I don't like that. I get it's a joke in the film anyway, and it's obviously going to be like becoming the Justice League at one point, I think, probably. But yeah, I don't feel like bar Mr. Terrific, as you said. I think Guy and I don't even know Hawk Girl's actual name.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Guy and
They're
Hawkeye,
barely secondary
feel,
characters.
they feel very underdeveloped. And
Hmm.
I also feel like Metamorpho was not in this as a character, he was a plot device.
Agreed. Yeah, it's
He was
interesting how
there
he's now joined
immediately
them at the
for fun.
end. Um, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. He was kind of just didn't really do much. Something I would like to talk about, and this is something I was talking about yesterday with someone, is, and I completely kind of forgot about this whole scene. But so I was a huge fan in the trailer of Nicholas Hoult in the tuxedo and the Magnum spinning it and stuff, and I was like, oh, can't wait to see that bit. And then he's got Superman in the prison cell, and he brings in a local that he is aware of that knows Superman and threatens his life with a type of Russian roulette. And
Yeah,
the big thing I loved from that scene is the fact that they just did kill him. They just did it.
yeah,
Um, Shows the brutality of Lex Luthor, but it also it's brutal, but someone needed to die in this film to make Superman snap, if that makes sense. Like, as
yeah.
in,
No,
he can't save everyone, even though he really wants to. Um, that was like a key part. They kind of intertwined it with the fact that it went off on the second bullet. They added in that James Gunn comedy to it, so they kind of managed to get the seriousness and the funny. But I was a little bit I wish I got a bit more out of just that whole scene. So the whole scene where they're in the prison, the concept was cool. I just think the delivery was very Ant-Man Quantumania,
oh
because
yeah,
after that they fall into like what is almost like a pixelated river of nothing, and they fight in a river for a bit, and it lost me at that point for a bit. Um,
that's the 30 minutes I was talking about. They completely like lost it for me
yeah,
pacing wise. That
I
scene didn't need to be that long.
no, I think if the prison bit was longer, with Lex Luthor intimidating and kind of
Yeah,
doing all the investigation part, and that bit, 100% for. Like, give me more of that bit. But the bit where he's in the river and I don't know what's going on, mate. I don't care. Like, I
yeah,
get what was happening, but you're completely correct. It didn't need to be as long as it was.
yeah. No,
Um,
it was very drawn out for no reason.
yeah. But it's annoying because the whole concept is really interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Is
was
it?
just definitely struggled with that sequence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will
Um.
just touch on it.
Mm.
If you haven't seen Superman yet, and for what reason you've sat through all these spoilers, but if you haven't seen it yet, I wouldn't waste your time sitting through the credits.
Yes. The two post-credit scenes.
I
Um.
I would not hang around for those post-credit scenes.
They're pointless. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
I was told before we went in that they were very super exciting and there was something very looking forward to. That was a lie.
yeah,
Um, I wonder if they were referring to what happens at the end of the film, which we can get into in a minute. But they specifically said post-credit scenes. So yes, you in very James Gunn fashion, there are two post-credit scenes. There is a mid post-credit scene and an end post-credit scene, and they are the longest credits ever. Like, I was back watching the credit scenes yesterday,
yeah.
and they were really long, longer credits than I remember. But anyway, you're completely correct. They're like jokey credit scenes that
Hmm.
don't develop a story or introduce anything. So it's just kind of pointless.
Yeah. I mean, one is essentially an animated poster,
Yeah, yeah,
and then the other one is Superman being like, "I can be a jerk sometimes." Funny joke.
and yeah, completely. Yeah,
Instant
it's
on the movie.
unnecessary.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
should we jump into some cameos quickly before we
sure.
wrap up?
Yeah, go for it. Is there anyone you want to mention?
And we'll get to the big one,
Cool.
but
Okay.
the two other fun ones is obviously you got Peacemaker was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his inclusion was perfect. It wasn't like he was brought into a fight. He
Yeah.
was like Mr. Media, which I thought was really clever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I liked how
Because
as well he just was instantly hating on him. Like, do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, that's so Peacemaker. It was perfect amount.
yeah.
Love that.
And then I also thought Bradley Cooper being Jor-El was
Of
really cool.
course. There was more than that. There was more than that. The Superman bots were also other members of the Guardians.
Yes, it's oh my god, let me get the names. It was Pom,
Yeah.
Mantis, Michael Rooker,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Bradley Cooper voices one of them, and then the other one is Alan
Oh,
Tudyk.
okay. Yeah, that would make sense. No, I liked it. It's one of them
Oh, that was
characters
one
that's like,
remembers that joke at the end of the film when he's
what?
like, "Four is a name, but I'd like to
Oh,
be called Gary," and I was
yeah.
like, "What are we doing?"
No, okay. I'm gonna say it. I liked that joke, and the reason being is because all the other jokes in the film are really forced. The bit where he's like, eyes up here, like you've got all them. Like, I don't need that, but like I love jokes that are just so shit. Like, they don't change anything. They're just a lie and we move on. That it's not almost
Yeah,
because when they want it to be funny, they leave a couple of seconds afterwards for an audience reaction. That didn't have it. It was just a sentence that moved on from, and you just sit there and you do exactly what you just did there, and you just go, oh, "What the fuck are we doing?" But like that's why it's funny.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I love that.
yeah, okay. One line I'll touch on before we get into that last cameo. It's just when humor gets spelled out, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
very American thing that they do in film. But the sequence where they're going to Mr. Terrific's ship
Yeah.
and the door is going up, and it's going up very slowly, far
Yes.
too long. It doesn't need to be on that long. And then we get the line of, "You have a flying saucer, but you don't have a fast garage door." And it's like, if the joke's in
Yeah.
front of you, you didn't need to say it.
You're explaining the joke.
Yeah.
It's not funny enough.
And then
Yeah.
after that, there's the 10 seconds of laugh, please.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, I completely agree. It is a very American thing. I
Because
don't
we
enjoy
obviously
it.
we watched this in a very different setting to most people. There was an
True.
early screening.
Yes.
And there's
What an
something
early
that I
screening
like to
though.
call screening laughter,
Yeah.
where people will laugh because they're in that screening setting. Whereas I
Hmm.
think I haven't seen this with a general audience yet, but I think there's a lot of things where people will laugh, but a lot of people just kind of sit there like, mm,
Yeah, I think we did watch this film in a very specific setting, and I'm not going to lie, it was beautiful. I've really enjoyed it.
yeah,
We had a full IMAX screening, an early media screening that had, I don't know, nearly 200 people in it, and every person was laughing and cheering, and it felt like the Spider-Man No Way Home feel. It was a really fun place to be. I have said I would like to go and watch it a secondary time alone. I don't need that audience reaction and ignore the comedy bits and see if it is it is a good film underneath all that. Do you know what I mean? I need to see that. But I'm not gonna lie, I had a great experience just in the way we watched it.
yeah. I think one last thing as well, was going to mention with the cinematography. While
Mm.
some of it doesn't work for me, some moments of this movie do look really good. And
Yep.
there was three sequences which genuinely I looked down at my arm and I had goosebumps and like my hairs were on end.
Really, I think the only time I got that was the bit I talked about when the building collapses and is in the dust. That's the only
That
real time
was
I got that. Yeah.
There was the opening scene with the Fortress of Solitude, and then his first flight back to
Okay.
Metropolis.
Fair. Yeah.
And then the last one was the fight where he just goes absolutely mental against Planet Watch.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fair.
Laser vision, and he like spirals through them all, and
That was
these
cool.
drop. It was just really cool scene. It is just 2 hours 10 minutes of people aura farming, but
Yes, it's Superman. Like
yeah,
the problem with Superman is that he's pretty much invincible. So how do you like? Of course he's going to be like that. Do you know what I mean? Everything he does is going to be cool. Yeah. Um.
the
So
last
there
the
is
last
one last big spoiler, but you did miss someone. Don't know if you noticed.
I was
Christopher
just
Reeve's son's in the film.
yeah.
He is a news reporter in a scene on the TV. I'm pretty sure. And that was just you just go, huh,
Oh
that was cool. That was nice. And it's just that. That's kind of where it ends. And like that's enough for me. It was just a sweet little nod and an adaptation. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I guess it's actually more. We got Sean Gunn's in here as well.
He is, yes, that's true.
30 seconds, if that. Um, we also have David Corenswet's third role of Ultraman.
Oh, you're referring to Clark Kent, Superman,
Clark
and
Kent, Superman,
okay, yeah,
Ultraman.
fine. I
I mean,
did not care for Ultraman at all.
technically, if we're being very technical, he's like four people in this movie. He's the Hammer of Baravia. He's
Ugh,
Ultraman.
okay, yeah,
He's Superman, and he's Clark Kent.
like Mickey 17 all over again. Yeah, but yeah,
He's very, isn't it? The
yeah,
first.
I will mention Ultraman before we move on. I'm very glad that they didn't focus on him too much because I didn't care for it. I
Yeah,
appreciate that was Lex Luthor's weapon in this film. That's how that was going to work. But like, I didn't care for him. He gave me a very like. He somehow actually gave me less personality than like Black Noir does in The Boys. I love Black Noir, and he does nothing. But I love how his character develops. Ultraman did nothing for me. He had like stupid little comedy bits where he like switched the light switch off and stuff. Funny, I get it, cool. We move on, brilliant. I like he did what he needed to do. But like the bit where like the mask comes off and it's him underneath, I don't care. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I wasn't sitting there like, oh my god, it wasn't that for me.
yeah,
And I think like James Gunn recognised that too, and I'm so glad he did. It wasn't a key plot point. You know what I mean?
yeah. How do
Lex
you feel
Luthor
on
was
people
still
who
the main.
wanted him to take the mask off, and it was Henry Cavill?
I still don't think I'd have cared. Like
No.
You would have gone, huh, was expecting that,
Well,
and then
nice.
you move on. Yeah,
Anyway,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like I actually felt like I got more out of the Henry Cavill Wolverine scene than I would have if
yeah,
he was Ultraman. It would have blown up, like it would have gone huge if it was. Do you know what I mean? Like crazy that
yeah,
he would have done that, but it still wouldn't have done anything because by that point you've developed the character into absolutely nobody.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Um, okay,
Right, the big last one.
there is a Superman. This is your Superman spoiler on top of the 80,000 spoilers that we've already spoken about. So well done for getting this far. Would you like to introduce this end character?
Yes. So there's a scene at the end. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
one of the strongest scenes of the movie. Um, Sort of closing out um, Clark's arc throughout the whole film. Um, then it's abruptly jumped in with the arrival of our next big DC movie character, which is, of course, Millie Alcock as Supergirl. Um, we got a very big cheer in our screening, a very big
We
cheer.
did. We did.
Um, the suit looks very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, they've thrown her in a trench coat, which I think is also from the comic, but
I liked that. I
yeah,
like that.
I like that they didn't give the whole suit away in this film.
Mm-hmm.
They kept her in the trench coat as well, so we still.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of them things where, like, maybe because you'll get all the cosplayers and people that love it, and they're making a suit based off just that scene. I wouldn't be surprised that by the time she comes out, there is alterations to that suit.
Yeah,
Like they always do something little, and that coat is probably a thing for that. Maybe like the symbol on the back's different, or like something like that.
yeah,
But no, I liked it. I think it wasn't too much and it wasn't too little.
yeah,
She come in, she collected her dog, Crypto. There's a little comedic scene there, and I think Crypto was almost everyone's favorite in this film, so it was great. I wasn't expecting her to like swear at all, and like
no, me neither.
which that actually did get me in a laugh because I wasn't expecting it. I don't know if I wanted it, but it caught me off guard.
Yeah,
But no, yeah,
no.
interesting.
Also, with the dialogue with Superman, we've set up the whole story of Woman of Tomorrow already, with her
Mhm.
going to the planets with the red suns. So, because she's got so much trauma going on, she just wants to get drunk and be free.
Pretty much, yep.
So they've set that up really nicely as well.
It was very interesting because James Gunn has said that if Superman didn't do well, if Superman didn't do well, Supergirl was immediately a flop. Do you know what I mean? Like Superman's the big name. If you can't pull numbers in for Superman, no chance you're getting them for Supergirl, kind of thing. And I think after seeing that film and him kind of dropping her at the end, and with the positive interactions that this film has now come out of, we can look forward to Supergirl. Um, I really, I'm very interested to see how he's going to match Supergirl's film to this level. Because in my head, and maybe this is just me being like, Superman's important to me more than Supergirl is, already you're on a down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's a chance here that the second film in his franchise is now going to be a little bit boring. I'm so ready to be proven wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, if
yeah,
it matches the same level that Superman just was, brilliant. Look forward to that.
yeah. I mean, we shouldn't even be
Yeah.
too far away from a trailer for that.
No, I'd guess we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Superman's come out, what, July, mid-July, we'll say. We got
Mm.
the trailer mid-December. Supergirl is early June, so we're probably looking at maybe November, early
Yeah.
December for a trailer. So we're not miles away from it.
Yeah.
In terms of the future of the rest of the DCU, we got Peacemaker next month, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited for that. I thought season 1 was a massive surprise.
Yeah, true.
And then I think next year is Clayface and Lanterns as well.
Yep. Lanterns, I'm very excited for. That's probably my big one of the three. Clayface is such a rogue move.
Yeah,
So strange. I'm open to it. I'm very interested to see what he does with it, but what a weird choice as your first. Do you know what I mean? Like, but okay.
that's the Batman introduction, really.
Yeah, interesting. But
I
I'm
would,
ready to
I
be
sort
proven
of
wrong.
think I would love it if it was a Clayface movie where the antagonist is Batman.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of that. Like the good guy is actually the bad guy's perspective.
If that's how they choose to introduce Batman and then go into Brave and the Bold, then I'd understand it, but I don't think that's what they're doing.
If they did that, I would want like I don't get to see Batman that well. I get to see him from the perspective of the victim. Do you know what I mean? Like something swoops in and goes, and
Yeah,
like he's gone, and like you actually get the fear as the main character. Do you know what I mean? Like he's actually, I would like that. You're right though. I can't see that happening, but it would be very cool.
Yeah.
Um, we've only are we done with Superman? Are we happy with
I
it?
think we've done about half an hour on Superman, so
Yeah, but okay. So we're pretty much close to the episode now. We had one more little game that I think Charlie had some hot takes for that you wanted to discuss. Do you want to do
yeah,
that
I got a
before we
couple of
wrap
hot
it?
takes. Yeah, we can go
Okay,
into.
let's talk about them. I'm ready to listen to this.
Let's kick off with the first one then. James Gunn is wildly overrated.
Oh, that's so okay. Agreed.
I Now I wanted to say this.
Yeah,
James Gunn doesn't make bad films,
yeah.
but when this film was announced and this film was being marketed, there was evident red flags
Fair.
with
Yeah.
things
Okay.
he was saying and things in the marketing. If I read one more "I trust James Gunn" comment, I think
Ah,
I would have lost it. It was like they'd hired the Jesus of film to
yeah.
come and
True.
tell
True.
him he was being glazed online. Um, it's a good film. I mean,
Hmm.
I can't deny that Superman it's not a bad film. It's a good film, but the whole thing of like, oh, DC's going to be amazing because I trust James Gunn.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just rely on that. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy is great, but that's a trilogy.
Yeah.
This is a universe.
Yeah. It's true. I completely agree with you. I think all of the films that he's done, I've enjoyed, but none of them are my favorite films. Do you know what I mean? I just can say I
Mhm.
had a fun time with them, and they're fun because they're a mixture of comedy and seriousness, and it works. You're completely right. It works with Guardians because on top of that, yes, it might be a trilogy, but there was gaps between each one. So we had Sirius for a few years, and then we went back to a Guardians film, and it freshened again. If the new DCU or whatever it's called from James Gunn is all that comedy aspect, that means every film we get is going to be kind of funny with no seriousness, and that's where I think everyone the whole I trust James Gunn comes from the fact that his films have been fun, but that's because they've been broken up by the other types of films. If they're all that type, yeah, I don't know. Um, I do completely agree with you though. Like I enjoy his films, but none of them are like 10 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a crazy one to start with. Like we've just had a half an hour discussion about the reason we
I
like
thought,
this.
yeah, go
Crazy,
left field.
but okay. That's no, I agree with you with that.
Now, I'm just putting myself up for some fire for this one.
Okay,
I'm I'm coming at people listening. I'm coming at film fans. This isn't movie industry. I'm going for the fans with this one.
okay.
Everyone moans that they want original scripts and
Hmm.
new ideas.
Hmm.
Secretly, I don't think people want them.
Interesting. Why do you think that?
I'm not someone that cares what a film makes at the box office,
Yeah, me neither.
but the box office numbers do show who's in the seats and who isn't.
Correct. Yes.
When you get an original film, most recently one from Pixar, like Elio,
Mhm.
no support. You have something, even though it's MCU, Thunderbolts was quite an original thing for the MCU with
Yep.
where it is. People did go out to watch it.
Hmm.
You've had, I think, what month was it? Maybe May. I think it was May or it was April. There was a lot of original movie. It was April. You had like Warfare, Sinners, all this stuff coming out. While Sinners did great, a lot of the other ones didn't do that well.
Hmm.
And people aren't going out to see these original movies. They aren't going out to support them. But they'll be the first ones to comment when they announce Toy Story 6 and say, "Where's the
You're not
original?"
wrong. You're not wrong. I think for real film enjoyers and people that enjoy stories and they enjoy characters, you need to take the risks on new adventures and new stories because when they don't and it flops, and I appreciate to some degree it's not the viewer's fault. So let's use Elio's a great example. Elio was marketed atrociously to the point where I was seeing the posts about Elio flopping and people were commenting on it going, this is the first thing I've seen about this film, is that it's already flopped 2 weeks after it's come out. In fact, how is that the first thing you came across? That proves the marketing. But then what aggravates me more is things like coming out then saying, like Disney made a post saying, people don't want to watch, like people don't appreciate standalone films anymore, so we will basically keep doing the live action remakes and stuff like this. And that is not true at all. Because the people that saw Elio loved Elio. So if you look at the ratings are good. Unfortunately, there are only about 4 ratings, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
The problem isn't who saw it, it's how many got to see it. And you didn't market it correctly, is basically
not at
what the
all.
thing is. I love a new story. I'm always open to, like, we talk about our favourite films of all time, and funnily enough, all of them were fucking ages ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen a film like this year and gone, that's it. Like, my whole personality has now become that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so rare that happens. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. My favourite film of all time is Treasure Planet. Um, all of them are ages ago. I haven't had okay. The closest I've got to that is June. June is the closest I've got recently that I've gone, oh my god, I've seen that recently and it's already rocketed to the top. But that's because everything that's come out has either been mid-tier or remakes. I am so open to something new,
Yep,
just market it correctly and then you'll get the audience reaction.
exactly. Because even this, while it is an IP, Superman was marketed phenomenally well.
Yep.
And when I said, I think I might have said it to you when we were there,
Mm.
but I said it to a lot of people before it started. I was like, it's just dawned on me, this is the beginning of a new universe.
Makes
It's like
sense the marketing so big.
it's a very cool thing to experience.
Mm.
It's the beginning of something. If you go and watch that original film, it might become a franchise, sure.
Yeah.
But you've been there and experienced the original in a cinema. There's so many franchises that people get too late and go, I wish I could have watched that in the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch
Yeah, it's
everything,
true.
report everything, you'll never have, oh, I wish I watched that. You can say, I know
It's
I did
true.
watch that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, and that's why I'm always so open to new things because you never know what you're going to
Yeah.
like, and that's with new things like that is how you get a Nora and things like that. Do you
And
know what I
that's like
mean?
straight into the Criterion collection. That
Yep,
is the fastest addition to the Criterion
yep.
collection I've ever seen.
Because people took a risk of something they did not intend to watch at all, and just went, "That was sick, loved that, brilliant." I don't need a Nora 2. I don't need a Nora the animated sequel. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes just a new story, fresh, done, dusted, brilliant. That's exactly why Sinners did well as well. Um, yeah, that was a good hot take 'cause it actually had me vexed. That worked so well.
I
Is that
have
all? You got one
I've
more?
got one more, which
Okay,
is very unrelated to any conversation we've had today.
go
So
for it.
random. It's about the other universe. It's about the MCU. It's
Okay.
about one singular character, and I'll stand by this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a huge hot take. I'll be honest. If you think about the other movies that are involved in this, I believe Shang-Chi has the best first solo movie in the MCU. Now, if you
Okay.
think about it, it's not actually that crazy. So what it's up against is Iron Man 1, the first Avenger,
Okay.
Thor,
Yeah. Spider-Man:
you've got
Homecoming,
Spider-Man: Homecoming, Black
Black
Panther,
Panther.
Ant-Man, and that's it.
I would agree with you on everything except Iron Man 1. I think Iron Man 1 is actually a great film. It's the strongest of the 3. And I do like Captain America: The First Avenger quite a lot.
I don't like that one at all.
Really, I
I
do.
really
The others
struggle
are
with
brilliant.
that film.
Captain America's got the strongest trilogy. Trilogy? Well, it's
Yeah,
4 now. 4, but I think
because 2 and 3 actively make 1 better, but 1 on its own isn't great.
I like it. I think it's okay. I love the war aspect. I wish we got a little bit more of Captain America in the war, but whatever.
Mhm.
But in everything else you just mentioned, 100% agree. Uh, Black
Yeah,
Panther was a brilliant film. It was. And that's probably in like third place of what we're talking about here. But Spider-Man: Homecoming, I think, is quite weak. Ant-Man is forgettable. Thor is atrocious. Is there anything
yeah.
else? Do you know what I mean?
Uh,
Like,
don't think so.
can't think off the top of my head. But
Shall I throw another hot take on of this that's can get me
okay,
cooked?
if you just come up with it, go on.
Spider-Man: Homecoming is a 1 out of 10.
Oh, okay. That's brutal. I wouldn't put it that low. I'm not going to say
I
it's a good
just
film at all, but
5
1 out of 10 is exceptionally low.
I really don't like it. I've never really watched it. I can't stand it.
Wow. Okay. Because some people
I
love that film.
I think the only good thing to me in that film is Michael Keaton's performance and the scene where he lifts the rubble. Other than that, I don't care for it.
Fair enough. I'm not even going to argue that. you know what? I'm going to end the episode with you just thinking about what you've done. Is basically what we're gonna.
I'm
um,
off to have a private AA meeting about film.
yeah, true.
We're gonna
You're
go
gonna
back.
need to put your socials on private after this. Um, Brutal. Okay. Well, that's pretty much the end of this podcast. Next week is going to be a little bit different from what we've already done. Next week is technically Smurfs. I don't think either of us care for it, so apologies. We're not watching it.
Yeah,
Um, so next week, I think what will be probably a bit more interesting is we might have a guest on. We can play some more games, and it will be a bit more of a get to know us and talk about everything in regards to that. I know that we love our hot takes and we love all of our weird little game shows here, so I think that's primarily what next week will be. Before Fantastic Four, which I'm more excited than Superman. I'll leave it at
no, yeah, same. Me too.
that.
That honestly, everything I'm seeing, that could be one of the like 4.5, 5-star superhero movies for me.
I would love it to be that. I don't know if it will be, but I would love it to be that. I'm so excited. I'm so ready.
Because already my main complaint from Superman is the one thing that Fantastic Four looks to be doing incredibly well, which is cinematography.
Oh, that's a good start. It's a good start.
That
I'm
seamless
gassed.
stuff is just reaching up to the.
Yeah, cool. Very cool.
Anyway, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Cool. So yes, this episode will come out on Wednesday at 6 p.m. as normal, and then the following one, well, it's the same every week. So we can look forward to that. So thank you very much for joining us this week, and we will catch you all in a week today.